Good afternoon. Fade to Black breaking news for this Monday, May 1st, 2023. This is all of the news that you need. I'm Jimmy Church. Let's get straight to it. On this day in history, 1999, the body of British mountaineer George Mallory was discovered on Mount Everest some 75 years after he and Andrew Irvine disappeared while attempting to become the first people to summit the peak. On this day in 1999. Here's your fader fact. Iran, that's right, the country. Iran carries out more gender change operations than any other country in the world. According to official statistics, Iran has somewhere between 15,000 and 20,000 transsexuals, although unofficial statistics place that number at around 150,000. And that is your fader fact. Let's get to the breaking news. The Great Atlantic Sargassum Belt, a 5,000-mile-wide seaweed bloom stretching from West Africa to the Gulf of Mexico, has started to wash up in Florida. Photos show piles of the algae starting to accumulate on beaches in Fort Lauderdale, and videos show it piling up in marinas and lagoons off of the Florida Keys. Unfortunately, the worst of the beaching is yet to come, and researchers predict the peak of the 2023 season will come in June. 5,000 miles wide. The godfather of AI is issuing a warning about the technology he helped create. Jeffrey Hinton, a trailblazer in artificial intelligence, has joined the growing list of experts sharing their concerns about the rapid advancement of artificial intelligence. The renowned computer scientist recently left his job at Google to speak openly about his worries about the technology and where he sees it going. Hinton is worried that the future versions of the technology pose a real threat to humanity. He tweeted earlier today that he felt Google had acted responsibly in its development of AI, but that he had to leave the company to speak out. An open letter from the Association for the Advancement of Artificial Intelligence, which was signed by 19 current and former leaders of academic society, was released last month, warning the public of the risk around AI. Hinton, along with scientists Yoshua Bengio and Yann LeCun, won the Turing Award in 2019, known as the tech industry's version of the Nobel Prize, for their advancements in AI. I will keep you posted. Russia's departure from the International Space Station program isn't so imminent after all. Last year, shortly after Russia invaded Ukraine, Russian space officials said that the nation would leave the ISS partnership somewhere after 2024, so it could focus on building its own outpost in lunar orbit, in Earth orbit. Russia confirmed yesterday that it will support continued station operations through 2028. Other major ISS partners, the space agencies of Europe, Canada, and Japan, have signed on through 2030, joining NASA in committing to the ISS through the envisioned end of its operational life. Mars appears to have had liquid water on its surface as recently as 400,000 years ago, possibly starting a snow that melted and helped turn sand dunes into solid, cracked crust, according to images taken by China's Zhurong rover. Now, Jiang Guangqin, the Chinese Academy of Sciences in Beijing, and his colleagues have found cracks, crust, and clumps of particles on top of sand dunes in the Martian plain of Utopia Planitia that can only be explained by liquid water from between 400,000 and 1.4 million years ago. The presence of certain salts in the sand led the team to believe that water originally fell onto the sand dunes in the form of snow or frost, which later melted and mixed with the sand to form hydrated minerals. These minerals then clumped together and, once evaporated, were cemented in place and formed the cracked crust seen by the rover's camera. Very exciting news. Now, I'm going to leave you with this. A Texas state agency is being criticized for implementing a transphobic policy after a dress code instructed employees to dress according to their, quote, biological gender, end quote. The policy from Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller, published today, said violations could result in discipline ending in termination. Miller said his office had complaints about gender issues that led to that specific part of the policy. Miller said, and I quote, "When a man comes dressed in drag or vice versa, it's very disruptive. It's not professional, and we want you to come in looking like you're professional and representing," end quote. Well, the question I have is what happens to the hair bands currently on tour in Texas? I'm asking for a friend. There you go. There's your Fade to Black breaking news. All of the news you need for Monday, May 1st, 2023. Fade to Black breaking news is produced by Renee Newman. I'm Jimmy Church. Go Beckley Teppy.